Dear friends, now we will see question number 12 or example number 12 of the exercise that is given like we are provided the information that an electron and a proton are detected in a cosmic ray experiment. The first with kinetic energy 10 kilo electron volt and the second with 100 kilo electron volt. Which is faster, the electron or proton? Now obtain the ratio of their speeds. Take masses of electron is 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 31 kilogram and mass of proton is 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kilogram. 1 electron volt is equals to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So in this case we are given that total energy of electron that is given 10 kilo electron volt and the total energy of proton is given that is 100 kilo electron volt. So now we first move with that kinetic energy, that is the total energy of the particle. So we say that E1 to be 1/2 MeV square, that is given 10 kilo electron volt. So this is 10 kilo electron volt. So we can compare this is with 1/2, that is E1 is equals to 1/2 MeV square into 10 into 10 to the power 3 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Similarly, for proton, we can say that it is E2, that is 1/2 MpVp square is equals to 100 into 10 raised to 3 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Now if we compare, we get that is MeVe square over MpVp square is equals to 1/10. Now we have to just compare, that is Ve square upon Vp square is equals to 1/10 into mass of proton upon mass of electron. So if we just put the value, we get here that is 1/10 into mass of proton is given 1.67 into 10 raised to minus 27 kilogram and mass of electron is given 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 31 kilogram. If we solve out this equation, we get that Ve over Vp as a ratio, taking the square root of the equation, we can have that is about 10 to the power 4 into 1.67 upon 91.1. Now by simplifying this term, we get as a overall answer that is 13.53. So this is the ratio of the speed of electron to proton, and we can say that electron is 13.53 times faster than the proton. So that's all. Here we can simply say that electrons move faster than the proton. So VE and here VP. So obviously we have relation, that is electron speed is about 13.53 times faster than the proton. Now we will move to the next question, that is exercise example number 13. Here we are provided that a raindrop of radius 2 millimeter. So radius is given, that is 2 millimeter. So we can consider it as a 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. That millimeter can be converted into meter. Then we are given falls from a height of 500 meter. So we are given h from the given condition. H is provided 500 meter. 500 meter, that is height is given above the ground. It falls with decreasing acceleration due to viscous resistance of air until half of its original height. It attains its maximum speed and moves with a uniform speed thereafter. So we can say that at a half height, that is at h by 2, we give it name as h dash, that is about 250 meter, it increases and then it attains the constant speed. What is the work done by the gravitational force on the drop in the first half and second half of the journey? Take density of water to be 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube. So we are given that density of water, that is 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube. And what is the work done by the resistive force in entire journey if its speed on reaching the ground is 10 meter per second? So we can say that V dash or V final be 10 meter per second. So now first of all what we need, that first of all we will find that mass of raindrop and the work done by it. So here first of all, from the given condition we say that density is equals to mass upon volume. So mass is equals to density into volume. If we consider water drop to be a sphere, we can say that the volume is equals to 4 by 3 pi r cube, where small r is radius of a drop. Now we can put all the terms that we have. When we put all the terms we have, we can write rho, that is a density given, that is 10 to the power 3. Then 4 by 3 itself is present. Then pi can be taken as 3.14, and radius that is given, that is 2 millimeter, that is 2 cube into 10 to the power minus 6. Now if we simplify all the terms, we get the answer as 3.35 into 10 to the power minus 5 kilogram. So this is the mass of water drop. Now as per as the knowledge, we can say that W, that is work done, is equals to, we can put here that W is equals to mg. So here it is provided as mg. We can say that m that we have obtained, that is 3.35 into 10 to the power minus 5 kilogram, and G, that is 9.8. So we put the term, all the terms over here, we simplify the path, and when we simplify it, we get the result value as that 0.082 joules. So this is the work done in this condition. Now we should be clearly understood that whether the drop moves with decreasing acceleration or with uniform speed, work done by the gravitational force on the drop remains the same. So here W equals to mg will not change. Now if there were no resistive forces, the energy of drop in reaching the ground, then initial energy of the drop can be considered by using E1 is equals to mgh. Here that h is given as a 500 meter. So we put all the terms and get the answer is about 0.164 joule. So the drop has about 0.164 joule energy at the height of h. Now when it has kinetic energy related to its height, and we can say that when it has the speed of that is about 10 meter per second, when it start falling towards the ground, at a condition that if we compare it with that is the given value, we can have actual energy E2 at that value of the condition E2. We can put that actual energy is given by E2, that is 1/2 m v square. Here we consider that v be the velocity of the particle which it's attain a constant speed at a certain level, and when it reaches the ground, we obviously given that its speed becomes 10 meter per second. That means its speed, that is constant speed, is given by the 10 meter per second. So we can have all the terms, that is 3.35 into 10 raised to minus 5 into 10 square, that is 100. So if we solve out, we get the energy about that is equals to 1.675 into 10 to the power minus 3 joules. So if we solve out, we can get that this is 0.00165 joules. So this is the energy E2. Now suppose we want to find the change or work done by the resistive force. So that work done by the resistive force can be calculated using W is equals to E1 minus E2. So E1 minus E2, if we simplify it, it will be about 0.163, see 0.163 or about that joules. So this will be the answer as the asked question. Then we will take another question from the condition example number 15. So now we will move towards that example number 15, which also dealing with the terms that we have already studied. So example number 15 is giving us the information that a pump on the ground floor of a building can pump up water to fill a tank of volume 30 meter cube in 15 minutes. If the tank is 40 meter above the ground and the efficiency of the pump is 30%, how much electric power is consumed by the pump? So here volume of the water is given, that is 30 meter cube. So volume of the water is given, that is 30 meter cube. We are given time, T is 15 minutes, that is about 900 seconds. So it is 900 seconds. And height is given, that is h is given, that is 40 meter. So that is 40 meter is given. And efficiency is given, that is 30%. So out of 100% it can only works up to a 30%. So first of all, what we will get and what we will try to find out is that actual power consumed by the output, that is power consumed as a total power consumed actual. We can say that PO that we will give is as power is equals to work upon time. Work is equals to mgh over time. Here from the condition of the volume, we can say that mass equals to volume into density. So we can say that mass is equals to volume into density. So volume into density into G into H over T. Here we can put the term, that is 30 into 10 to the power 3 kilogram for as a mass, as it is given 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube. So it will be 30 into 10 to the power 3. G itself is considered as a 9.8. Height that we are given as a 40, and time period that we are provided as 900 seconds. So when we put all the terms and try to solve out, we are given 13070 watt. So here the power is 13070 watt as a output, but we know that this is only the 30% of it. So how much power it consume, or we can say that input power would be in term that on the basis of efficiency, we can say that efficiency is power output upon power input. So if we are having power input, or we want to find out power input, we can say that power input is equals to power output upon efficiency. So now we put the term as given in the equation. We can simply write down that power input is equals to 13070 upon 30%, that is 30 upon 100, that will go into the numerator, and we get the answer about, that is 43,567 watt. So this is about the 43.567 kilowatt that is total power input should be. So this is the question number 15 of the exercise.